perfect right now. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of current down there. Yeah. Pretty turbid. Not great biz down here. Okay, I've got you at 45 degrees. I'm going to tilt up slightly there. I'm holding at 17 meters altitude. Copy that. That sounds just about perfect right now. I can go ahead and get your swing arms out if you feel comfortable. I'm ready for that. Copy that. Sure, yeah, thank you. Yeah, same for mine. You can drop it a little. Yeah, that's looking better for right now. You can bump it up just a touch. Get a little bit of green in there. You might not get any good pings anyway. Looks like we're over some mud here. You might have to right click and then try. See if that does it. They changed different things, but yeah, that looks good. You can see D2 in there. Thanks, Ned. Got some goodies. What you got there? I'll show you. Want to do a quick zoom video? While we get everything set up. Okay. Yep, come on out. We'll probably go over that in a second. I'm going to let them know that we're just about ready after we finish. Solid current.
I do want.
Hey, you can go today.
Okay.
Directly north. Yeah.
Good morning
Okay.
to all those who are listening. This is the Okeanos Explorer. Today we are diving along
did you
the eastern wall of the Mona Canyon, which is located
You're good to go.
northwest of Puerto Rico. We are starting at a depth of, right now, about 2,413 meters. We're expecting really to climb a pretty steep ridge off this wall. This dive has been modified a little bit. We're going a little bit deeper than what was planned last night due to communication cables. But the objective of today's dive, we are going to be characterizing the benthic communities, such as the deep water corals and sponges. Also characterizing some of the demersal fish communities along our track.
Gotcha. Great. Cool. Yep.
This area has not been explored before, and we're really excited about this dive. My name is... Sorry.
Watch this, this pilot.
Hi, pilot.
Hey, I just wanted to give y'all a heads up. We are here and ready to go whenever you guys are.
Ready to go when you are, so I guess that means we're all ready to go.
Okay.
So my name is Stacy Williams. I'm the science co-lead from the Institute for Socio-Ecological Research, a nonprofit located in Puerto Rico. Also,
appreciate you guys spending all that time bringing me here.
I'm a co-founder of Coastal Survey Solutions, another company in Puerto Rico. I'm a benthic ecologist, and I've been monitoring the marine communities around Puerto Rico and in the Caribbean and I'm
So
joined
Italy's sea, Riddle's
by...
My name is Steve Oskovich. I'm sitting to the left of Stacy in the other co-science lead, watch lead chair. I am a PhD candidate at Temple University in the Department of Biology, and I am a specialist in deep water corals and the ecology and biogeography of deep water corals. So we hope that as we begin the dive today, we're going to start out in a bit of a sandy patch that we're taking a peek through right now. And we're going to head up a rather steep slope, and I'm hoping to see lots of corals today.
Yeah. Let's see.
Come on out, video, when you're ready.
We're going to lift off as we're pulling out.
Y buenos días y gracias por acompañarnos esta mañana. Este es el Okeanos Explorer. Mi nombre es Stacy Williams y estoy con Steve Oskovich.
It's a mystery fish.
It's a mystery dark ophidioform.
Yeah. We've been seeing this everywhere, and it's, so far just been identified as an ophidioform. Not quite clear yet what it could be.
Hoy estamos explorando la pared este del cañón submarino de Mona. Vamos a empezar a la profundidad de 2.400 metros y vamos a subir a 1.850 metros.
So I'm swimming through.
Vamos a caracterizar a las comunidades que viven en el fondo como corales y esponjas en aguas profundas y también los peces. Este área nadie ha explorado, so vamos a ver si que podemos encontrar.
Yeah, 25 I think is fine. Okay.
Y gracias y bienvenidos.
Yeah, sure. Yep, that's fine. You can just call it 060.
Looks like
How
the
fast
current,
this is.
yeah, is yeah.
Yeah, you can let them know that.
It looks like there's pretty strong current by the ripples of the sand.
Yeah, it's a mystery sometimes why we see ripples on the seafloor. Sometimes they can be due to prevailing currents or
yeah, those things are running east to west. Almost exactly.
Some sort of association with the tidal movements in the area.
I'm going to come back a little bit.
And the currents that run along the seafloor or off the...
hey, watch these. Those, we just lined up on those. Those are running east to west for your information.
East to west? Okay.
Yep, just about exactly.
Thank you. And is there any appreciable current in the area?
Very much.
Very much?
Yes,
okay.
And it's running roughly south to north.
South to north. Thank you.
Okay. So that would be going kind of
inside the
out of the
canyon. Which makes sense because on the west side it usually runs north.
For now, yep.
Sometimes internal waves can also cause these sort of seabed features,
reevaluate, I think.
Bed forms. It's definitely not the wave action from the surface you might be aware of. Sometimes at a beach you might see sand ripples. This is not that same type of process. This is likely some sort of deeper current or internal wave action. We're quite deep today, 2,400 meters. We've been working around some suspected cables, submarine cables in the area, which have caused us to modify our dive plan slightly.
I'm on NVIDIA.
Lasers clear.
And kill lasers co-pilot. Copy. Thank you. Lasers off. Perfect.
These are pretty common. We've been seeing throughout this expedition. It looks like it has some type of maybe parasite on the dorsal side. Yeah.
Maybe a scale worm with those bristles or CD.
It's a small one.
Yeah, very tiny.
Got a question for you, Science.
Holothurian rodeo.
When we see these holothurians, they're often translucent, and you can see here, but I don't really see any veins or arteries, just the digestive tract. Do they actually have blood?
No, not that what I thought of. No, they have sensory cells, but not a circulatory system or nervous system.
Every single echinoderm, works off of a system called the water vascular system. They don't have typical blood or body fluids like that. It's primarily seawater that they use to pump around their body using somewhat similar to hydraulics. Moves their tube feet, moves their digestion along, things like that.
So is that how they move their nutrition around as well?
Yes.
Same,
Yep.
Did not know that was possible with water.
So you're out there a ways.
Yep,
I was going to come back towards you a little bit. Copy that. And then maybe head to your other side of the screen while I'm waiting. Yeah, I haven't really felt the start of that move quite yet. Well, we bet about 5 minutes probably. Swing. Or layback. Delay. There it is. Okay. Well, this is more current friendly anyway this way, so I might do this more often. Drift back. Push forward. I guess we can take a look on this stuff if we want, if anybody has an interest.
The stick has something white on it on the upper end, on the right side.
Yep. Go ahead and then.
That's a brittle star arm.
Some more woodfall.
Gastropods.
This one looks to be covered with those limpets, or similar to limpets or gastropods.
Pan down it.
I'll tilt down.
Looks like maybe a brittle star is hiding under the woodfall. See the small arms.
Just keep going down the end.
Sure.
Look for anything interesting.
Look at that
there's a little small sea star. Yeah.
You got any more zoom here?
Oh yeah.
Look at this guy.
You know, that looks exactly like
sample him.
The star we were trying to collect. Unfortunately, it didn't make it on the last woodfall, but it was actually, it looks like a sea star, but it's likely a brittle star that has very thick, chunky legs.
Oh, yeah.
Chrisma had called in about it and mentioned that there's these brittle stars that kind of imitate these asteroid sea stars. But yeah, unfortunately, we weren't able to collect that one. I think it fell off sometime in the collection process. Nevertheless, we scoured the box to see if we could find it, but
video's clear.
Who knows?
Come on, wide.
Might have just fallen off. It was a little bit of a kind of an aggravated collection because we had to break part of the stick off in order to sample the fauna inside the woodfall.
Yeah.
These guys aren't floating today.
One up there with the horn is different than the first one.
I'm not sure if I have enough tether to get out there right now. I do not.
There's quite a few of these sea cucumbers.
Go ahead and relay that. I don't know if I didn't hear it all, and I don't think Copilot did either. But wait till he's, yeah. I think Dive Soup is with Expedition Coordinator's with him.
White spot in the distance. 2 of them. One at the top. Yep. Nope, just one on the left.
Let's see if I have the tether for it. Video. I was playing here at the end of my rope. Yeah, back with you now. Go ahead and relay that to him. Okay.
So yesterday we were exploring the pretty steep wall. It started kind of like a stepwise formation just north of Vega Baja at a possible area where there was a landslide. But we actually didn't see much.
You said they were seeing winds over 20?
Fallen rock, like the dive before when we were actually surveying the western wall of the Mona Canyon.
Thank you, Ned.
This looks like some
We're
type
have
of
a little bit of sediment for a little bit of video.
let's see.
Should clear shortly.
Looks like a gastropod. But it's yeah, I think it's a gastropod. It really extended foot. I don't know if it's a sea cucumber. I don't think so, because you could see the Shamaterium. Huh. This is I think a new sighting for this expedition. Oh yeah, it's pretty
lasers on it.
Whoops. Lasers on.
So as Steve mentioned, we're starting off in a kind of soft sediment area, and then we should be reaching the wall relatively soon.
I'll leave lasers on.
It's pretty steep.
Yeah, I like to fly with them. So. Yeah.
In some areas greater than 30 degrees. We are starting a little bit deeper today from yesterday's dive plan, and that was due to some communication cables in the area. Tenemos que cambiar los planes porque hay cables de comunicación en este área.
It's another white thing.
So estamos buceando en aguas poquito más profundo.
There's also one up ahead to the left.
El corriente de hoy es muy fuerte. Es el sur hasta norte. Yeah, it's like another one of those
chance of centering. It's moving up or left. Okay, video's clear.
So there still seems to be a lot of debris. Looks like some seagrass, the lassia blades on the bottom. Also some sargassum. Oh no, I was just describing the bottom. So yesterday we did 3 collections. We did a geological collection. We collected a rock, and we collected a sponge that was common around 3,100 meters, and also a sea star that might be a new species.
Straight line looks unusual.
We're expecting hopefully to see a pretty diverse community along this ridge today.
Are you going to look at that white stick that was to the right? Big thing to the right. I was wondering if it was bone.
So this expedition started on... this looks like maybe another... Yeah, looks like a... Yeah, it looks like another woodfall. With a lot of seagrass. Looks like there's the lassia and syringodium blades. It's like some type of Nidarian. Looks like maybe an anemone, but I'm not sure what type of an anemone since it's closed in. It's retracted all its tentacles. That's good, pilot. Thank you.
Video's clear.
So we started this expedition on the east side of Puerto Rico on the 31st. We surveyed possible snapper, deep water snapper habitats to the east of EX, and located some rather large schools of silk snappers, and were able to observe some pretty large misty groupers. We then moved a little bit northeast and dove on like the south barrier of the Marine Conservation District, a protected area and a well-known mesophotic reef system just south of St. Thomas. We then surveyed the Buck Island Reef National Monument, where we did the deepest dive in the monument, and we were able to characterize the coral and sponge and fish communities within that monument. We then headed towards the southeast coast of Puerto Rico.
No.
And surveyed the areas right off of the coast of Yabucoa and Punta Yeguas. And that site actually had a really high diversity of corals, of fish. We saw a lot of these sea cucumbers swimming in the water column, and there's a highlight video where you can watch that on the website.
Brittle star above your lasers is on the move.
We then moved to surveying, here's another brittle star. These seem to be pretty common.
Can't get that next arm moved against the current.
We then explored the southwest of Cara de Muertos. This area is really unknown. We don't know what lies or what occurs in the deep habitats in this area, in the south of Puerto Rico. And we were actually able to observe queen snapper as deep as 539 meters. They were originally known to go as deep as possibly 400 or 450 meters, so we were lucky enough to observe one much deeper.
Interesting, the current's coming from the right, but the sediment on the right side of the rock is dug out. I would have expected to be piled over. Sponge, I think.
I don't really see anything.
Right between the laser. Plastic.
Yeah. Not sure what that is. It looks like it could be maybe trash.
something pink under that rock on the upper left. I think it looked pink.
Or maybe perhaps an old egg case of some animal.
It's near the upper left of on the rock. Left of there. Left edge. I don't know. I'm getting in close. I just see some fuzz. Yep. Nothing of consequence. Thought it was pink from back there.
Thanks, pilot.
Looks like you had a little ledge up there to your right.
So then we moved over to, after Calle de Muertos, we surveyed some areas just south of, southwest of Puerto Rico in La Parguera. And actually, this really prominent ridge, about 24, 26 miles off the coast of La Parguera, had really cool topographic features. And we found some rather large coral communities in this area and pretty deep, around 2,600 meters.
Look at that ridge in the Sirius view.
We had to then kind of modify our schedule due to the weather, so we then headed up north to the north coast. And over the weekend, we surveyed, as I mentioned, the western wall of this canyon to survey an area that probably could have caused the tsunami back in 1918. So we were surveying a landslide feature. And in the second part of the dive, we carried out a mid-water survey to characterize some of the plankton communities within the water column. That was really cool because usually these plankton are so small, they're microscopic, you need a microscope to actually see them, and we were actually able to see these really small animals with the ROV cameras and actually see them in their natural habitat. So
welcome aboard, pilots.
That was very interesting.
Looks like just ahead, following that line to the left, is the largest relief we've seen.
Yeah, large white hard substrate up here.
Yep.
That's where we're headed. Pretty turbid water.
Pilot, this is watch lead.
Go ahead, watch lead.
Whenever you feel comfortable, do you guys want to do a set of introductions in the front row?
Yeah, we'll switch out our navigator and then we can do that.
Okay.
come up a little bit here, pilot. We got a delta of like 5 to 6. We're bringing it up to around 10 to 12.
Perfect.
Brown puff at the bottom.
Oh, yeah. Could snap it. See if we hear interest. It's alright. You can zoom out a little bit to acquire. Thanks. Still trying to figure this current out, rolling.
I think you're facing straight into it at this point. See how the tether goes.
Pilots?
Yeah.
How's it going now?
Stand by, rolling.
Come in, partial. Keep coming in if you'd like.
I'm going to range your sonar into 30 meters, pilot.
Copy. How long was that move? And how
It was
much?
called in 9 minutes ago, and it was 25 meters at point 2, so it's probably swinging right now.
Yeah, I'm definitely moving forward.
All right. I'll take off.
Finished at 16:02.
Yeah,
did they pass off how long the delay has been?
They did not, but the last couple of days it's been around 5 minutes at 2700, so I'm assuming it's between 4 and 5.
Okay.
We're at, what, 20, almost 24.
Lift high enough to like that for Sirius.
I'm going to also come up a little bit with you, pilot, as you
Copy that. Go
rise up.
Sounds good.
Good afternoon to everyone listening on shore.
So 25
At a depth
meters.
of 2,380 meters on
Well, it
the
looks pretty
eastern side of the Monet
well,
Canyon.
You can see pretty far ahead of Sirius.
Yeah.
If we have a 4 to 5 minute delay, unless there's something to look at, we could put another move in. We've been waiting for, ship's been steady for 4 minutes. You want to go ahead and do it?
I think so.
Okay.
You can always stop it.
Yeah, 20 meter move. Are we looking for a 25?
I guess it's going to get a little steeper. We'll do we'll do 25 meters.
All right.
Copy that.
Once you call it in, we can do introductions.
What bearing are you thinking? 060?
Fuzzy lower left.
You tell me. What do you think, co-pilot?
Let's go for star instead.
I'd
Roll.
say 0.
Oh, there's a sea star there.
60065.
Okay.
I'm going to swing my head around here a little bit, pilot.
Okay.
Yeah, 065 seems to be
Okay. We can do a 065.
near the middle.
We're just about reaching the bottom of a pretty steep incline. We've been transiting over some sediment mostly this morning, but
All right.
we just
go
reached
call
this
it
bit
in.
of steep incline, and we're going to take a look at this sea star.
Bridge. This is ROV nav.
I'd like to request a move of 25 meters. That's 25 meters, bearing 065, speed decimal 2 knots.
Oh.
That's a good copy.
Very spiny ridges of spines on the, pretty much all around the tips of the arms, length of the arms.
Slight tilt down.
The oral disc, or rather the disc on the aboral side of the Sea Star is seems to be speckled with maybe some spines or a rough texture. The arm tips are a little bit bent upwards, and the disc seems to be a little inflated, possibly due to feeding or some other activity.
Lasers across
Thanks,
it.
pilot.
All right, I think we're ready for introductions when you're ready, Levi.
Yeah, so sitting in the front row, sitting pilot is Levi Unima.
In the navigator's seat is Dan Rogers.
As co-pilot is Lars Murphy.
In the far right corner is Roland Bryan at video.
In the back row, I'm Emily Narrow at the video clipping station.
And we are all with the Global Foundation for Ocean Exploration. All right. Let's continue to explore. Going up.
We're just getting started today. Had a little bit of a delayed start, but we're on the seafloor. And we're heading, we had to modify our dive plan slightly from last night due to some cables, submarine, possibly telecommunication cables that ran through the area, but that seems to be averted for the most part. We're diving a little bit deeper for that reason in the 2,400 to 1,800 meter depth range. Should cap out today at around 1,850 meters if we run our entire dive track, which is completely possible.
Ahoy, Steve. This is Chris Ma.
Oh, Chris Ma, you're a little delayed. I was worried there for a second.
Apparently so. Yeah, I know. I just missed it, but it was on screen when I was punching my numbers into the phone. That thing that you guys were looking at looks very much like Evoplosoma. I'm not sure I recognize the species, but it did look very similar to that small spiny sea star which we collected the other day that was feeding a coral. It's also kind of a hopeful sign for your day to come that something that large looks like it was moving over this area, hopefully because there is food in the area. And so eventually I suspect you will come upon coral because that's what those sea stars eat. But
I'll take your word for it.
To me, how prey specific they are. So I suppose they could be feeding on just about any small cnidarians that are present, but if you're lucky, it means there are bamboo corals in the area. Yeah. But I'll definitely take a look at the video and the picture again to see if it's a species that might already be known. But in this part of the ocean, it's called in.
Copy. Awesome, Chris. Thanks. You've got my attention now, so hopefully we'll see those corals.
Chris, be aware that
I'm looking forward to seeing. Oh yeah, well I'm looking forward to seeing also. You had mentioned this is the same area we saw late Master Spicabilis in 2015.
Come in.
So hopefully we'll come across that seldom seen animal again this year or today.
Chris,
yeah, that is correct.
Before you hang up,
we're in the right depth range, so
no one else
stay
can
tuned.
hear me,
Hopefully,
but
we'll give you plenty
your
of
phone
heads up
is
if we see
distorted.
anything else like that.
I'm sorry, was Roland trying to talk to me?
Yeah, I'm just letting you know that your phone is distorted, but nobody else can hear me, so don't respond to me.
Oh. Okay.
Oh yeah. We'll give you a call back.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right.
Yeah, so you should be feeling that move now, Lars.
Copy that.
We're looking at another sponge that we, this looks very similar to the one we collected yesterday, actually. Which,
thanks, Bridge.
If the identification is correct, and I have no doubt that it is, could be in the genus Poliopogon. Can we cycle around to the right, pilot, if you have some room?
Yeah.
To look at it at a different angle? Yeah, I would say so. This looks very similar to what we collected yesterday, and it's in the right depth range.
Lasers.
And from what I understand, I was reading something about these sponges last night. There aren't a lot of records from this genus. This genus is not well described from the Western Atlantic, so our collection is very timely and important. It would either represent a significant range distribution from one that's known from the Eastern Atlantic, but or alternatively, if it's a new species, it could be a new species entirely. We'll have to find out. We have a great team of scientists on shore who are tuning in with us daily, both, as you heard, on the conference line just a few minutes ago, and as well as in the chat room. There's also a larger community of scientists who sometimes aren't able to participate, but we can send them images of interesting things that we observed and get their opinions about potential collections in the future, if it warrants such a collection.
So maybe what we'll do is we'll just call in a move like after the ship has been stopped for 3 or 4 minutes, so we'll wait for the move to finish, wait 3 or 4 minutes, and I'll call in another one just to keep us moving, but it'll give us a little bit of time in between to stop and zoom on stuff if we need it.
Sounds good.
That sound good to you, pilot?
Yeah, perfect.
We keep them at 25 meters or 20?
No, frame this up, see what's here. We got a holothurian and a stick.
As long as...
Yeah, another holothurian.
As long as we can see 50 meters ahead of us on Sirius.
We saw this one a little bit earlier.
Copy that.
I have been seeing a lot of wood debris, which I suspect that's what we were just looking at. A small stick or a branch. Although there's been probably some of the more substantial wood falls we've seen in the expedition lately. In this area as well. A lot of phytodetritus here in the form of sargassum, as well as thalassia, which is a turtle grass. It's very common on the margins.
Stay on 065 or adjust any more, Lars?
Warm water tropical islands.
If we were to adjust any more, maybe like 0.75, but I think this is the heading that should get us to 063 is the heading to waypoint 2.
Right. So well, I think we're. I think the way. I think we're just going up slope.
Gotcha.
I don't think I'll check in with watch leads, but I don't think there's anything.
I believe that was a point that we just placed down this morning.
Exactly, and it was probably just an estimate of upslope.
Yep. Yeah, if that's the case, then let me poke my head around to 070, maybe 075. Pilot, you're just gonna go to the port side of my screen for a second.
Sounds good.
Let's see what we see. Looks like there's a little bit stronger return over there. And a lot of rocking.
Go ahead, dive super. Room. Copy that. Thank you.
Quite a bit of carbonate outcrops here. What we suspect is fresher carbonate, is tan or white colored rock.
Pink urchin, bottom right.
Okay.
Yesterday we were seeing a significant amount of manganese, iron manganese coated rock,
that. So
which is the black rock color you see. It's actually a precipitate from the seawater.
Roughly 1,900 meters depth.
Iron manganese compound.
So at 1,900 meters, we will continue along the contour in whichever
this slowly
direction
accretes on the rock and or precipitates on the rock and forms a thin layer.
No, just co-pilot.
Go ahead.
The rate at which this reaction happens can take
0.85.
sometimes
0.85.
thousands to millions of years, depending on the oceanographic conditions.
Okay.
Lined
up.
Take a look at this sea urchin right now.
Looks pretty good to me, and just get an idea on high pack.
That's another pancake urchin.
I would estimate from high pack a 0.75.
This one looks like it.
So that
could be
that's pretty
formosoma.
close.
There's some
So
small
we can do 0.85.
Of these modified spine tips on the
I'm gonna go ahead and call it in.
top side of it,
Yes, please. Thank you, Dave.
or the aboral side. Moving its spines pretty quickly.
Bridge, RV nav.
The spines on the bottom side are a
Like
little
another
bit modified
of
so that
25 meters. That's
more easily
25 meters,
walk in
bearing
this type of sedimented
0.85,
environment. That's where we
speed
typically
decimal
find
2
them.
knots.
All right, thanks, pilot.
Yep. Good eye rolling.
That's a good copy.
This Fertile Star, I think, is up against a rock.
Should be a little bit more talus material here,
I'll get
carbonate
closer.
debris or rubble.
Just want to make sure it is actually a rock. Yeah, it is.
Come in.
It's an enemy. Or
What is this? Looks to be a kind of bivalve, I would think.
that's very different.
Bivalve or similar to relatives of clams and mussels. You can pretty clearly see both halves of the shell, as well as a ophiuroid brittle star to the left. It's one we've seen a few times, kind of buried, semi-buried in the sediment, most likely feeding on pockets of detritus or small organisms. It's not one we've seen extensively. I don't know, this... I would say this is probably a bivalve, although in some respects it resembles a cup coral, but the tentacles are not nearly long enough.
Do a partial.
Okay.
Satisfied with lasers?
Yeah, lasers, okay.
Coming on.
We're going to take a closer look and see if it is a cup coral. It just looked from the side we were looking at that it could have been
That's good right there. See if we can see
more of a
inside.
bivalve shape, but take a peek.
Zoom out a little bit. Come in.
Yeah, it could be a cup coral. It's difficult to tell.
We'd like to give you guys challenges.
Yeah, that's interesting.
All right, now I'm steady, of course. If you want it more zoom video, I think finally figured it out. This position. Go by, grab my rotator, center it out for me.
Good. Taking your camera, coming up.
There you go. Try to get you a steady one video.
You want up higher?
Yes, please.
So shoreside, we're throwing around that this could be a flabellum cup coral, in which case it's pretty heavily calcified and probably one of the more thick ones that I've ever seen. Although it kind of looks like tough to tell.
Come up or
yeah, just track it.
Coming up.
I'm looking at the structure on top. It kind of looks like I can't tell if that's a series of tentacles or if that could be a siphon. That's why I had said bivalve, but it's completely possible.
Do you want a full view or do you want to tilt to the top?
No, right where you got it.
Copy that.
Okay, video's clear.
Next video.
Giving you your camera back, Violet.
Thanks.
Awesome. Okay. We'll try and figure out what that is.
Got you there at 35 degrees.
All right. Coming up.
Coming up with you.
Yeah, I think the current's coming from my right to my left, or to,
yeah,
the north. So I put my left toe down. If I put my right toe down, then it dusts me. That's what I'm trying to do.
Co-pilot Chris, before I came in, basically said that the current seems to be lining up pretty well with the contour lines on high pack. To give you a good idea. It's coming from east of south, heading towards west and north.
So it feels like the ship is coming to a stop at 1624.
Copy that. I should have 4
so I'm
minutes.
I'm gonna wait a few minutes, and then call another one in.
Good copy. It looks like I still got a decent return, pretty far out on sonar. 085 still looks good.
It's interesting.
Fish, just above center.
Go for fish.
Where's this coming on?
Going, yeah.
So this is that unknown ophidiform that we just saw in the earlier in the dive. And this rock is actually much different from what we saw